Hello, Kingston. Today we're going to talk about the worst place to live in Kingston. Or, I guess, to buy. The worst place to buy in Kingston. You do not want to own a house here. It's terrible. Can you guess? Alright, so today, first of all, I'd like to say hi. I'm Dan D, Amy V, and we're going to talk about the worst place to buy in Kingston. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I know where I would consider the worst place, but I think I also have an idea of where other people would think is the worst place.
Yeah, I think
don't know if I actually know.
I think we're all kind of on the same page here of what the mass group of people are going to think is the worst place to own a home in Kingston or to live in Kingston.
Right, probably the North End.
The North End.
The North End.
The Rideau Heights. You can get yourself stabbed up in there. It is dangerous.
You can get yourself stabbed anywhere.
In case you can't tell, we really don't think there's any bad place to live in Kingston. It's got a population of like 120.
124 something.
120, which has been like that for a while
5
now.
years.
And, you know, occasionally you get one schmuck who causes an issue and blah, blah, blah. It's all blasted through the media for the next 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah. But I guess let's talk about it. First of all, what makes it bad? Why does everyone think Rideau Heights, the North End, or Rideau area is a bad place to live?
The area is heavily populated with low-income people and low-income families.
Okay. Now, when you say heavily populated,
yes,
if we look at all of Rideau,
mm-hmm.
and I have a rough number on this, but I want to hear what your number is on what you think the low-income population is in the Rideau area.
Well, you know, there's Compton Street, Weller Ave, Daly Street.
Yeah, but how many properties? How many?
I actually know that there is, in the units on Weller, Wilson, and Compton, there is around 250.
250
units.
Low-income units designated strictly for low-income families.
Correct.
Right? 250.
Right. And then I don't know about the buildings on Compton. There may be some just some units in the buildings, but I think in general they're not designated as low income.
Okay.
And then again over on Daly and Montreal in that area, there's more townhouses there that are designated
Low income.
specifically for low income.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that ends up being a percentage of around 10,
It's very low.
right? 10%?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does have a higher rental population.
Right.
And renters are bad.
Apparently.
Renters are bad. They're not. I don't think that they are at all.
Cue the sarcasm. There might be a bit.
So it does have, you know, probably around a 45-55% renter population. So there's a good chance that if you buy a home there, your neighbor on one side, half of it, could be renting.
Right.
Right? And we all know that that's bad. So I guess I'm gonna have to tell you that I work with clients, first-time buyers and stuff, a lot, who are new into the market and they're looking to find a property. They want, you know, 3 bedrooms. They want a single-family home. They have kids or a single mother or something.
Yeah.
They make a respectable amount of money per year, like in the 35 to 55 range.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're by themselves and they don't have that dual family income,
Right.
that's the spot where they can get into the market. That's where they can buy. And a lot of them don't buy there strictly for the stigma that is around that area.
Drives me crazy.
And it's ridiculous. So they would rather continue renting and paying somebody else's mortgage,
Yeah.
than owning their own home because of the stigma surrounded with the dangerous places in Kingston.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
You know, it kills me. You hear of something that happens in the North End and everybody goes, oh, of course, you know, in the North End, of course. But very consistently, I hear more happening in the west end of Kingston, where suburbs, middle to upper middle class families live, and nobody bats an eye. Everybody goes, "That's so sad. It's so upsetting."
Yeah.
But if it happens in the north end, you're automatically a drug addict. You're
Yeah.
automatically
Oh, yeah.
a criminal, and you had it coming.
Yeah, you meet somebody on the street and you're like, "Oh, whereabouts do you live?" "Oh, I live, in the Rito area. Let's pick a street like Virginia Street or something like that." Right away, your mind goes to like, "This person is no longer on my level."
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
This is something that bothers Amy and I both because there's a lot of great homes.
Yeah,
in that
I
area.
lived in the north
and they're
end
very
most of my
well
life.
built.
Yeah.
They're a lot of them were built in the 60s, 70s, very early 80s, and they're even putting new properties in
Lots
there.
of new ones.
Just in the past 5 years, they built that new River Park subdivision.
Yeah, just by John Counter Boulevard.
Yeah. And you can't get in that area for less than $250,000.
My grandfather built most of the houses on Shaw Street
Yeah.
back in the 50s and 60s. Yeah.
So they're very decent, well built. You get good sized yards.
Absolutely. It's you go to the west end or the east end where these suburbs are, and your lot is small. It's
35 by
tiny.
100.
Yeah, you don't get yards like you do
No.
in downtown or the north end.
There's so many parks.
Yeah, tons of
There's
parks.
a ridiculous. You can't walk a block and a half without coming across a park, some sort of park.
Schools. There's lots of schools.
Lots
in
of
the area.
schools, but those are bad schools. There are bad kids in those schools. So recently, for a client, her parents really didn't want their daughter in that area
Right.
because they thought she was going to get mugged and robbed, and children were going to get kidnapped, and the world was going to end. So she didn't buy. So she's currently still renting.
Right.
Because she didn't buy in that area. But I had to do a check to see what the crime rates were in and around Kingston. And can you guess where the highest crime rate was in Kingston?
I would think west end or downtown.
You're close, but campus. Campus. The most expensive part to
Should've
buy
known.
in Kingston has the highest crime rate. Now keep in mind, these properties are expensive in that area because a lot of them are for students for rentals, and they make money, and they're evaluated a little bit differently. They're
Right.
evaluated based on how much money they can bring in a month as opposed to the actual property value.
And don't get me started on that because that actually
Okay.
sets the stage
Okay.
across the rest
Yeah.
of the city.
We're going to talk about rentals and stuff at a later date. So this just really bothered me because when my family, they immigrated here from Portugal, that's where they could afford to buy. They worked their asses off. They saved up a little bit of money, and they would buy there. And this is where the rental stuff came into place. To offset the cost of owning, because these are immigrants that barely speak English, if at all.
Right.
So the work they were getting is low income work.
Right. Blue collar work.
They would rent out their basements.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad's side of the family did the same thing. They grew up on University Ave and would have students who came in and lived with them.
Yeah, to offset the cost, because owning a house is expensive. It's just expensive. Everyone knows it's expensive. It's one of the biggest purchases you're going to make in your life.
Ever, yeah.
Unless you're out buying like G5 jets and stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
Then, yeah. Then you're not, and if you're doing that, then you don't really give a shit. So, so owning a house.
Kingston would be your first choice of places to live.
So owning a home is expensive, and they would buy it and they would rent it out, and then they started making more money. They started to pay down their mortgages. They started moving out throughout the city to township, or what used to be township and stuff. But they would keep those properties and rent them out.
There's actually a very large Portuguese community in the North End.
There still is. Yeah, there still is a
so.
very large Portuguese community in North End.
Yeah.
I still have lots of cousins and stuff who still live in the North End.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're not afraid at night.
I grew up in the North End, so did my mom, and I've never been mugged. I've never been stabbed.
I've never had any of those problems.
No.
Yeah.
No. And as a woman, realistically, I feel fearful any area I'm in. It doesn't matter if it's the North End. It doesn't matter if I'm on campus. It doesn't matter if I'm in the West End. I don't feel any differently in any neighborhood than I would.
You might be a little bit more scared on campus.
I guess I should be.
Because campus is dangerous.
Yeah.
So I want to put it out there to everybody that my opinion, and feel free to comment on this. I encourage you to comment on this if you have a different opinion. There really isn't a scary place to live in Kingston.
It's a pretty
Yeah.
good city. I mean, there's incidences, obviously.
Obviously, there's incidents.
But I don't think anybody is to blame. I don't know.
Yeah.
Necessarily
Do we have a
areas
big
to
gang
blame.
population? Do we have a lot of gangs?
I don't know.
I don't see colors. I don't see
Is
people
that
rocking like
anything?
blue and red bandanas or anything. You know, like in a large group of them.
A gaggle.
A gaggle of gangbangers. Like Kingston doesn't have that. Also, on the north end, there's a large military population in the north
Very
end.
much. Yeah.
You know?
Bryceland. Up and around on Bryceland Ave, they built a whole bunch of new houses and mostly military families.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Kingston. The military's good enough to protect you from war? Not good enough to live next to? Oh yeah. Comment. So yeah, I really don't think that there is a scary place to live in Kingston. There obviously is incidents, but I don't think you can judge an area based on what a couple of schmucks do.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And I mean, like I said, I hear a lot of houses and cars being broken into in the West End
Yeah.
versus anywhere else.
Don't live
Like,
where
it's-
there's teenagers. Teenagers is the bad area to live in, right? The ones breaking into cars and stealing your change. Those don't get reported,
No.
but there's a large amount of that going all around Kingston, wherever the teenagers are. You know what, like 4 or 5 years ago, Cataraqui Woods?
Yeah.
An ass ton of teenagers. And an ass ton of broken cars. No one complains about Cataraqui anymore. No.
It's nice. It's the suburb.
Yeah. So, in the nicest...
Kids being kids.
Kids being kids. But that happens on Rito.
Forget it. Those little badass kids.
Yeah. They're gonna go to hell. Get them out of here. Send them east.
Obviously the North End is very near and dear to my heart. I've lived there for most of my life, and I've tried to help many people there because of the stigma that surrounds it. And I've done like big parties in the North End on July 1st, free parties, so everybody is welcome. So yeah, it's important to me. And students, and this is funny that you say that there's most of the crime happens on campus, because students, I actually hear a lot of them say, never go NOP, and NOP is north of Princess. So anything north of Princess, yeah, the students at Queens are like, no, you don't go north of Princess.
So who do we blame for that? I blame the parents. I blame the parents and just the stigma to this. Like, let it go. There's nothing wrong with the North End. You have to get your head out of your ass and let it go. For all those that live in the North End now, good for you. I'm glad that you're all safe and sound. But as a positive note, because of this stigma in the North End, it's a great place to get into the property game.
Yeah.
You know that you have good rental potential there.
Mm-hmm.
In the future, if you decide to keep the property and move someplace else, you're not going to have a problem finding a tenant. It is on right next to the 401.
Right next, yeah.
So transportation is fine.
And
great bus system.
Division Street.
Yeah,
It's
Division
amazing.
Street,
That's everything.
Montreal. All these big arteries into downtown Kingston.
Well, there's the grocery store, there's
Yeah.
a movie theater, there's restaurants, there's a Shoppers Drug Mart.
The
It's
billions of
ideal.
dollars they dumped into the lower
Yeah.
division with all the restaurants, the movie theaters, Canadian Tire.
Yeah. Everything you need. You do not have to go across town for anything if you live out there.
And if you want to talk about the walk scores that are all kind of the rage now,
Yeah.
you can walk everywhere from the North End to any store that you need.
Yeah.
So let's be pro North End, and let's just be pro Kingston in general, because it's a great, safe place to live. And stop spreading the propaganda
Yeah.
on how terrible it is.
Yeah.
Jump online, look at crime rates in Kingston. You guys would be surprised to see what campus is all about, because that's dangerous. They had cars on fire there.
No, they flipped over a cop car.
But that's okay, because those are just students and they're just boys being boys.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed this. Please comment, follow us on Facebook, like the page, Kingston Homes for You. Find me on LinkedIn, Twitter. This video has been tweeted, and let's just go from there. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.